see what we're actually up to. Yeah, I just got back from LA. I stayed at the Beverly Wilshire.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I did a hell trip in New Jersey. It was awful.
And so, what did you go to Jersey for?
Customers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so kind of, I sold them some kit last year.
Yeah.
I sold them our solution last year.
Yeah.
But then we never actually did a site walkthrough, so they kind of bought it blindly. So I was doing site walkthroughs and just kind of doing a consultation and.
Cool.
Yeah, I got them to buy more, which is always fun.
Yeah. And what's your vision with your cut?
So I'm doing a big talk in New York City.
Okay.
In 2 weeks.
Sick.
So I'm thinking a 2 taper.
Okay, sick.
Then if we could carve this hard part in a little bit.
Yes, make it
right?
nice and bold but thin.
Yeah, and then kind of the same length on top, man. I like the length.
But I'll clean it up and add some texture to it so it flows. Perfect. Watch, it's gonna be sick. Watch, I got you, brother. Hella. And so, what are you gonna speak about out there?
My talk's called "Make It Make Sense," but with the artificial intelligence boom that we're seeing right now, there's a lot of questions around, how you actually get a facility to be AI ready. Can facilities that already exist host AI applications? What are the implications? What happened because of DeepSeek, and what do I think is gonna.
What is DeepSeek?
So DeepSeek is a Chinese artificial intelligence application.
Oh, wow.
And what they did differently, so I'm sure you've heard of like ChatGPT, right?
Yes.
So what they did was they essentially remade ChatGPT, so the Chinese version, for a lot cheaper because they used more legacy infrastructure. So, NVIDIA was probably the hottest company in the stock market for the last year. As far as, chip manufacturers and things like that are concerned. Because they have, what are called GPUs, graphics processing units, which are a lot more powerful than a CPU.
Yeah.
And they can, essentially run AI applications efficiently. But they've been, people have been investing billions and billions of dollars into NVIDIA to come up with, more powerful chips and, more powerful just GPUs. And then DeepSeek comes along, recreates ChatGPT.
Oh, wow.
Which is, based off of a large language model. And they did it for cheaper because they were using legacy NVIDIA infrastructure. And so the market panicked. And NVIDIA stock dropped. I forget exactly how much they lost, but over billions of dollars they lost in the stock market.
Jeez.
As soon as DeepSeek came out and said, yeah, we did this. And so the question is that, okay, so everyone's saying we need much more high-powered infrastructure to do AI, but is that really true? And the answer is, well, if you're just recreating something that's already out there, then no. But if you want to innovate, then the answer is yes, because, a more powerful graphics processing unit can make things happen quicker, can crunch more data more efficiently. And so as we see, AI applications expand into different fields that require a lot more, intense compute behind it, then absolutely we're going to have to keep investing and grow that. So the reason why I'm doing this talk is because my company, what we do is we collect a lot of data, and then we have AI built into our platform that makes recommendations on how you can improve your facility to save energy but also reduce risk.
Oh, wow.
And so really what I believe is that companies, in order to make informed decisions, are going to have to collect as much data as they can, do some sort of modeling, because we also do, simulation and modeling through another platform that we have.
Yeah.
To be able to figure out, okay, can I actually do this in my facility as I have right now? Do I have to buy a new one? Like, what infrastructure upgrades am I going to have to do? What's that going to cost? Be able to compare things head to head and make informed decisions on, the best course of action.
Nice.
And all that's driven by
strategy,
but what's the strategy driven by? It's driven by data,
yeah.
Right? And so all these data centers, they collect a shitload of data, but then they do fuck all with it. It's crazy to me. And so that's what my talk's about, is using data well and to your advantage, because you already have a lot of it.
Yeah.
But then what data points are missing, right? So then I'm going to start getting into that.
Well, what data points are missing?
Environmental. So when you look at a data center, there's a couple of things. So you have what's called the gray space and the white space. So number one, for a data center, uptime is king. So meaning things don't break, they're online, right? They're not turned off. That's always going to be king, because otherwise you run into issues with what Netflix had with Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, right? Their data centers suffered, their infrastructure suffered, which caused a lot of
Internet
buffering.
crashed.
Yeah, and people don't understand that that's just because there was a data center problem.
And what was that? What would be the problem that would create that?
Servers going offline, so then there's less
Due
servers.
to traffic, or
Yeah. Due to traffic, they could have had an issue in a data center where some things broke, right? So, we don't know 100%.
But would
for certain.
traffic have broken, or would
Yeah.
some other circumstance have broke it?
I'd be surprised if traffic didn't play a part, because
Oh, okay. So
if you
it
look
is
at
traffic.
Netflix's model, streaming is streaming something that's been recorded is a lot different than streaming something that's live.
Yeah.
Because streaming something that's live is shipping data from point A to point B that's never been stored.
Yeah.
Streaming something that's already been uploaded somewhere is streaming data from multiple point A's to point B, right? So when you watch a Netflix show right now, you're probably bouncing from data centers that are in LA, Phoenix, Denver, right? Whereas when you're live, it doesn't really work like that. The network flows a lot more linear.
Well, how does it work when it's live?
So they're recording on their cameras,
But how's it transmitted?
Yeah, just through the network, if you will. So a fiber transmission, which is going to a data center.
A
which
hard
is,
line, or air,
Yeah.
or driven by the air?
Well, there's really no such thing as the air, right?
Okay.
So Wi-Fi is one piece of a network, but then if you notice, you always have to plug a cable into your Wi-Fi modem, right?
Okay.
So then that cable is being ran through the city infrastructure out to the telephone lines, which are then being ran into network hubs, which are then being ran to their distributors, essentially. And so what happens when you're streaming live is that it's going from that facility to a network hub to wherever it needs to go immediately. That's the difference, right? It's the immediate nature of live streaming. If they were, if it was a pre-recorded show, then people would just be downloading it from servers that are closer to them, which wouldn't impact
Wouldn't
the
impact,
bandwidth
yeah.
as much.
I see what you're saying. Instead, everyone's doing it at once.
Exactly. At the same time, from something that's never been...
Because if you pre-download it, it's not necessarily still on that server.
Exactly.
So
it could
now,
be on,
now you've
yeah, it could-
alleviated some of the stress or whatever it is on the
network itself. Yeah. And so that's, that's one of the big constraints. That's why, like, self-driving cars like Waymo that you'll see in Phoenix and San Francisco and
When
things
I was
aren't
in
everywhere.
LA, there was a white car that had like a big old
Big
thing on it,
spinning
and it was
thing on it?
self-driving.
Yeah, so that's
and it
Waymo.
dropped some chick off in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, that's Waymo.
And when she got out, I asked her, I was like, damn, girl, are you safe? Do you feel okay in that? She's like, yeah. I was like, wow. I saw like 3 of them.
Dude, I don't. Those things scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I've seen
'cause it's
videos
like,
of them fucking up, dude. And then
It has to
they
mess
get
up.
stuck in. You get stuck in the car, and someone from tech support has to help you out.
What
I'm
if there's a fire and you're stuck in the car? You know
fucked.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That's bad news.
You turn into charcoal.
Yeah, I love. My God.
No,
Hey,
but
do you want to go flush with the 2 up on this side, or do you want hair to comb down on that side a little bit?
I kind of like it when hair comes down on
Yeah,
the side.
it's going to be classier like that.
Yeah.
Watch. That's where I figured for the speech. I'll make it real good to where it lasts too.
Yeah, because my Goldilocks zone too after like a cut is like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
It's like my favorite time.
Oh yeah, this will last for sure. At
Yeah.
least that.
I'm
This will last longer than that. You're busy. You're always traveling.
I know.
Every time you get back, it's like, damn, you traveled again.
I'm in town this week, and then I go to San Francisco next week.
That's sick. And what are you, some kind of Amex member too, or do you get some
No.
other Delta or whatever it is?
I do United.
Because you fly so much that I feel like you can go in a room for sure.
Yeah, I do United.
You fly way more than me. I like United.
It's the only airline that gets me everywhere I need to go.
Do you like Delta or no?
Delta's my preference.
Yeah, I was on Delta. I don't like Southwest.
I hate Southwest, dude.
It's
and I won't.
They make you find your own seat.
I hate that.
Yeah,
If
I don't-
well,
gives
they're
me anxiety.
transitioning. They're transitioning out of that model.
Thank God.
But
that model doesn't work.
it's stupid, dude. I want to know where I'm sitting.
Yeah, me too.
And like
I want to be assigned a seat. Even
Exactly.
if the plane is completely empty, I don't mind when they place me
Exactly.
in a seat and I
Yeah.
have to adhere to that seat. Because it causes pandemonium when you don't assign a seat.
Yeah.
I'm walking through the aisle. There's a heavy lady here, heavy lady. The phone's in the center. I got to go all the way to the back of the plane. I feel like Rosa Parks.
Dude, and then my problem is that, you know, I have pre-check and global entry, so it takes me no time to get through security lines. And so I don't like to fuck around at an airport. I like to get there and go right to my gate, get on my plane.
Agree.
But I can't do that with Southwest because I have to fucking be there early
Yeah,
so I can wait in line so I don't get a shit middle seat.
Yes.
So it's like, with United, I know, you know, weeks before I'm traveling what seat I'm going to take.
Nice.
That also impacts what bags I take, right?
Absolutely.
If I'm on a small, like, because I'm going to San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be in a small plane doing a direct flight, and I'm all the way, the only seat that was available was a window seat in the back of the plane.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I'm probably going to gate check my bag.
Oh, smart.
So I don't have to dick with overhead space.
Yeah. Damn, that's a good idea. You know what, dude? I'm afraid. I've never checked my bag in. For some reason, I'm a little bit concerned because I have the fear of it's not going to happen. Yeah, you're not going to.
It's rare.
It's rare.
I've gotten my bag lost once.
Yeah.
But that was on an international flight.
And they'll take care of it. They'll find it or they'll do whatever.
Oh, yeah, they found it. They shipped it to my hotel in England.
Oh, nice. Damn, you went to England? Jesus Christ. That's sick.
I go to England at least once a year.
Damn, nice. What do you do out there?
My company's headquartered out there.
Wow. Damn, that's sick. Jeez. Yeah, you do have a really good job, without a doubt. Interesting and fun, but you're real smart, so it's like, damn, you can tell when you talk about this, you're passionate about it for sure.
Yeah, well, look, man, the only industry that's 100% recession-proof, that's never going anywhere, it's future-proof, is the data center industry.
Yep.
Because everything, even your phone right now, you know, if you posted an Instagram video, that relies on a data center.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of people understand that. And, you know, there's kind of like a PR problem within the industry itself, talking to, you know, consumers of data centers, which is everybody.
Yeah.
Because people just don't understand how critical they are. And, you know, the other side of data centers, that's kind of the darker side, is the amount of energy that they consume. It's crazy. Like, you know, with one GPT search, and I think this is the metric, I can't quite remember, but I have to figure it out anyways. Yeah. You know, it's enough power to turn on 150 light bulbs. Jeez. One GPT search. How many of those are happening?
Damn.
Yeah. And so you have places like Ashburn, Virginia right now, which is the data center capital of the world. So it's just northwest of Washington, D.C. And there's more data centers there per capita than anywhere else around the world.
That's like their hub or where they're located.
Yeah, and guess what? Ashburn, Virginia is out of power. Literally out of power. There's no more utility power. Can't get anything else from the grid. So the residents there are fucked.
So can someone start one up?
Like a data center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that. The money in starting a data center.
Oh, it takes it. You have
or does
to,
it take too
takes
much
$1 billion.
money?
It takes $1 billion.
Okay. But imagine what you make off of it. Just say someone were to loan you the $1 billion. Geez, that'd be a quick way for, you know what I mean?
Well, dude, people are investing in fantasy data centers right now. Data centers that won't exist until 2030.
Cool.
And I've talked to these guys who are starting those companies.
I would love to do that. That'd be sick.
Yeah, dude,
that'd be a good way to go, dude, to get into it right away.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so if you're an investor looking for a market that will pretty much continuously be stable and only grow, I mean, data centers are it.
You should start something like that to where you can gain those investments and put your foot in the door through someone else's, you know what I mean? Gain yourself a percentage through maybe acquiring some investment money, or since you know so much about it, it's like you have a doctrine in the field of this.
Yeah, and what's also
you probably
interesting.
Do. That's what I was like.
So my mom, and this is how I got my start, right? So I started a software development company.
Jeez.
The software market in Albuquerque is shit because no one wants to pay for American labor, which is kind of a bummer, right? Because you know, especially software labor, people would rather go to India or, you know, the Philippines or pretty much wherever else.
Is it cheaper? I mean,
yeah, way cheaper. I mean, we're talking about like $8 an hour.
Oh wow.
Versus you know, a good American engineer who's going to be 40.
45 to 50. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, 40 for like an entry level.
Yeah.
Right. So, Yeah, financially, it doesn't make sense.
That's a big difference.
It is. But then you always run into the problems where when you outsource software, you actually have a lot more issues with the application being created. So it's a dual-edged sword, right? It's more of an investment up front if you go the American market, but then it pays off in the long term because you don't have as many problems. And then also everything's here, so you don't have any intellectual property concerns or anything like that. But regardless, I started this software company, and then my mom, at the same time, her company called Aquila.
Oh, wow. Shout out to Aquila.
Yeah, she was investing heavily in, a liquid cooling solution for data centers.
Oh,
and
wow.
then Aquila acquired a company called
Like helium?
Upside. No, like liquid, so like water.
Okay.
And then...
Would helium work as a cooling agent?
No.
Okay.
No,
I know it's a gas or like a...
Yeah, it's a gas, but then, it's...
But I think
not
they use
dense
it in
enough.
their like nuclear flux reactors
Yeah.
or whatever. So I'm like, oh shit, I wonder if that shit would work in.
No, it's not dense enough, and then, you have to generate enough helium, and it's just,
Yeah,
air you can
Doesn't
get from
work.
outside, right? And you can cool it.
I got you.
The feasibility just isn't there. But then,
Yeah.
so my mom bought a company, or Aquila bought a company called Upside Technologies,
Nice.
and that's where I got started in the data center industry back in,
God,
what was it,
I'm glad you still
2016?
live here. Yeah. Just because I'm surprised they haven't already tried to make you go to LA or you're gone.
I'm not going to, man.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because I could, unfortunately, now that I went to LA, I could picture you in LA. Only because it's like of what you do. There's a
Yeah.
ton of them tech dudes out there.
Yeah, but then you look at the cost of living.
It's
and
too
the
much, dude.
traffic.
Oh, it's disgusting.
So driving in New Jersey, this just gave me a stark reminder because,
Yeah.
I landed in Newark and I had to drive about 40 miles south.
Oh, nice.
And, I was supposed to land at 3 p.m. I was delayed, so I didn't get in until 4:30.
Jeez.
So then I had to do that drive in rush hour. And
Oh,
you have
wow.
to, the toll roads out there are crazy. You have to pay like $8 just to drive your car every day going one way.
That's expensive.
Make that make sense. And then the amount of traffic.
Yeah, it
I mean,
does. Unless
so,
you buy a toll thing.
well, yeah, but even still, you're paying it.
Yeah, you're still paying it. So it's costing you $6 instead of $8.
Yeah.
Still
Then
add
look.
that up over the year. It's a grip.
So then
$3,400.
So then you also look and the traffic is just crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
because Newark especially, because that's a hub for people coming in from Philadelphia, going to New York City, right? Because it's easier. You can get some public transportation from Newark into New York City. So you're seeing all these people just converge at the same time. And you go through this toll booth section that has 8 lanes. You don't know where you are, so you guess.
Damn.
And,
That's a trip.
and then those 8 lanes funnel down into like 3 lanes, and there's no lane lines, and there's 500 other vehicles on the road. And so the
God.
stress level of driving there is just insane.
Damn, that sounds crazier than California.
Oh, it's way crazier.
Jeez.
It's so bad. But
We're not used to that out here.
no,
It's
you
like-
look here, dude.
It's better here with the driving for sure.
I don't have, the only thing I have to pay for is gas and insurance, right?
And our gas is cheap compared to California. In Beverly Hills, the gas was $6 something per gallon.
Yeah.
I was like, God.
I know, and when I got back, it was the same thing in New Jersey, dude. But when I
God.
got back, it was like I
It
filled
was
up.
4 something in like the other adjacent town, like, somewhere bad in LA.
Yeah.
But in Beverly Hills, that shit was 6 something a gallon. I was like, God.
And does it really cost that? No, but then people have to charge enough to make
Yeah.
a living for where they live. And so
That's-
why would I want to do that?
I would. It's like a pit out
Do
there.
you know how much $100,000 goes here? Like how
It goes
far
pretty
that
far.
goes? Yeah.
100 grand out there is like 35,000 out here, or 40,000.
Yeah.
It's like nothing.
You're living in poverty.
Yeah. And really, honestly, we have the mountains up here. It's
So
nice
pretty.
up here, dude.
Yeah, you can go for a hike in 20 minutes. If we ever get snow again, you could go snowboarding.
Someone told me, oh, the value of life in California is better. And I was like, I think it's better here because everything's cheaper here. There's no smog. It's healthier here. What, is the food better there? I mean, because it's pretty good here. But I'm just saying we have a good spot here for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have an ocean,
Yeah.
but so what?
I don't want to pay that. I'll go fly out there and we could experience it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to have to pay that kind of gas money and
Yeah. And then guess what? You don't have to deal with all the dumbass tourists.
yes. Even though your industry is sending you everywhere because you're in that tech industry, at least you get to live here.
Yeah, well, that's what's great about work nowadays, right? For anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
most
remote.
jobs, like, you can do remote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice, man. That never existed like that much 5 years ago.
Well, guess what remote work relies on, man, is data centers.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Teams applications, dude. Microsoft, like, email. It's all in data centers. All of it. Whenever you pull up a map on Apple Maps or Google Maps, whatever you use, that's data centers.
Oh, wow. Yeah, everything uses the data center. Because everyone uses a phone. So it's like everyone in the world is, the data center will never go out of business.
No.
They're only going to have to create more. Look what happened with the Jake Paul fight. Like you said, you're going to have to create more data center.
Well, that was another interesting issue because it was also network stability, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if you look at companies like Waymo and what they're doing, which is autonomous driving, the amount of data processing you have to do very quickly with low latency. So latency is essentially buffering, right? It's the amount of time it takes from the data to get from its source to its consumer. And with AI applications that are required for self-driving cars, you have to have no latency. Because imagine if there was latency and then someone crosses the street in front of one of those fucking Waymos.
So what makes it with no latency and what speeds that up?
Network stability.
And how do you gain network stability?
Yeah, good question. I mean, that's something that people haven't answered yet. I mean,
Oh, wow,
you have
cool.
to have the data closer to the consumer is essentially what you need. And
so you need
the
more
network
data locations or...
Yeah, the network that we have set up just isn't there for that right now. And we don't have the infrastructure. That's, billions and billions of dollars are going to have to be invested to get that network set up. Because while we can... while you and I have internet and, we can stream all the platforms that we want, we can do some cool stuff. If people really wanted self-driving cars to be here now, the amount of data we'd have to have right next door to us is insane, and we just don't have it. And so then we're seeing, like this in the industry, this resurgence of edge data centers, which essentially are just data centers that are right next to the consumer. And they're small, they're made for, network resiliency and quick transmission, all of that kind of stuff. But we just don't have that set up. So the infrastructure just doesn't exist yet. And then the amount of power that we're going to need for all these new facilities doesn't exist. So where's that going to come from? Traditional coal sources, no. I mean, because that's how bad for the environment, insanely. So then you're looking at wind, solar, hydro in certain areas, right? Which is clean, sustainable energy. But the amount of solar panels you need to service, a 1 megawatt data center, which is kind of average right now, is insane.
They need to build an energy isotope.
So what we need investment in nuclear energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is happening. So what's really cool about the data center industry too, if you care about sustainability and the environmental impact, is that the data center industry is kind of the leader right now as far as green energy generation is concerned, because we have to be, because we use so much power to begin with. I mean, globally, data centers consume 4 to 6% of the total electricity.
Yeah.
Think about that. 4% of the entire electricity in the world goes to data centers.
That's a trip.
Yeah, it's huge. So when you're thinking about that, in terms of the growth and what needs to happen, it's like, how are we going to get that power? What makes sense, right? There's a lot of questions that are being answered right now, and it's a really exciting time too. Because if you look at what's going on politically, right? I don't care what your leanings are, but data centers and artificial intelligence is kind of going to be the next big boom. It's going to be like the next space race.
Cool.
Right? Who's going to control the artificial intelligence?
You're giving us good info on what to invest in early on.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if that's, you know what I mean, that's a good idea.
So, we want to be the AI superpower of the world, which means we're going to be investing in that infrastructure. And that is awesome.
This looks sick on you.
Dude, it's perfect.
Watch, and I'll do this on the look, this will give me a thumbnail picture. Hell yeah, watch, look at it. Boom, hell yeah. All right, sick, brother. Oh yeah. And then watch, and watch. Let me dust you off real quick too, just to get this to where.